What's going on, everybody? Oh, yeah. Remember yesterday when I was like, just trying to talk and I was like, trying to warm up the voice a little bit before the show, do a little reading aloud. Oh, yeah. This is as good as it's getting, fellas and ladies and people. This is as good as it's getting today. So I'll do my best. So Lil Toots had a little the stomach bug, right? And it turns out that Leo, my son, who turned 1 yesterday, by the way, happy birthday to him, has got a respiratory infection, which apparently has been going around. So we're having all sorts of fun here in Casa de Farzetta. But it does come with some good news. The closest mug to me today to make some tea. Oh, let me just get this in. It's actually my favorite mug. It's the first mug. It's the first gift I ever got for being a father. It's my first Father's Day present. It's a gift from my lovely wife, which would make sense. And the mug says, "Thanks for not hitting it and quitting it. Happy Father's Day." So here's to you guys. PJ, how's that? Does that sound all right? Does that sound okay? How about them 76ers, ladies and gentlemen? And why does the NFL hate your Philadelphia Eagles? Kevin Finneran joins the show from your Philadelphia Wings. He's getting his number 11 jersey retired tomorrow against the Buffalo Bandits. Tickets, looking at $5 there. Wingslax.com, just to give them a shout out. Yours truly is their PA announcer. So by all means, come on down, have yourself a good time, and enjoy the lacrosse and me as the PA guy. My voice will be better by then. Just when the show's over, I'm going to drink some whiskey. Maybe I'll mix in some bourbon, and that's going to be a cure-all. I just don't want to do that because there's some side effects to talking and doing that while you do a show. So that's probably not the best idea. But anyway, welcome in. Hope you guys just had a wonderful rest of your Wednesday. I was out talking to Seth Joyner yesterday and Devin Caney up at Jeff D'Ambrosio Auto Dealership for the Jacob Media YouTube channel, talking about the San Francisco 49ers game coming up where the Eagles are playing host to San Francisco in the NFC Championship game on Sunday. Some interesting numbers that we'll get to with Brock Purdy coming up in a little bit, highlighted by my man SVP. And we'll also get into some numbers regarding the Nets from last night's game. All interesting all the time. Let's jump in with this Sixers game, shall we? Let's push the Ben Simmons stuff aside for just a second and talk about what ultimately matters, how the 76ers play. I would have expected a much better output, a much better defensive job in particular against the Brooklyn Nets team that was missing Kevin Durant, and that wasn't the case last night. This game came down to the bitter end, the final minute of the game. It came down to that. That actually mattered, despite the fact that the Brooklyn Nets were playing again without Kevin Durant. Now, I'm glad the Sixers won. They did what they needed to do to win the game. But a 137 to 133 victory isn't really what I expected in this. I didn't expect this game to be huge in numbers the way it was. I expected the Sixers to do, I don't know, maybe do an impression of a team that plays defense, because usually they're not too bad at defense. This game very, very, very bad at defense. It was a slop fest defensively. If you're a young kid and you're looking to have a basketball career at some level, whether you want to get into high school and play, whether you want to play in college, and you're like 10 years old watching this game last night, play better defense than that. Do not look at that game and go, oh, wow, this is how you play defense. That was terrible. Absolutely abysmal last night. I will say, I give credit. Ben Simmons, of course, played Joel Embiid tough, but Ben Simmons was not much of a factor in last night's game as expected. And the fans, they came out ready to party. I got what I wanted to see last night. I wanted to see the Sixers win. I wanted to see Ben Simmons not play very well. He had one of his better games as of late, so I guess that's cool. But I saw Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid battling each other in the post. And I give credit to Ben. He won a couple of those battles, and it started off slow for Joel Embiid, who had a not-so-Joel Embiid night. I thought he was going to go off for 40 points. I thought you can look at him to bet the over. Maybe he was still a little bit banged up. Maybe he knew he just couldn't miss this game with Ben Simmons being back in town and this being an opportunity for him to play. Maybe he rushed things back just to play. But, man, were his teammates there to pick him up. Final numbers on the night. I'll start it off with your boy Ben Simmons. 12 points. All right. Very rarely is the point total for Ben Simmons the highlight of his stat sheet, but 12 points last night, just 5 assists and 5 rebounds in just 29 minutes played in the game. Invisible in the fourth quarter. Barely in the game. 29 minutes played, not many of them in the fourth quarter. Sound like someone we know? It does. The Mr. Softy shirts were out last night in full force. It was a thing of beauty. Philadelphia, I love you. I absolutely love you. And you saw a little jawing back and forth, maybe a couple stare downs between Ben and Joe. And Kevin Durant even had to chime in on the game despite not playing in the game. We'll get to that in a second. As far as Joel Embiid goes, the 26 points I mentioned, 10 rebounds, another double-double for him. James Harden with 23. That's all well and good. Tyrese Maxey coming off the bench in one of their 3 lineups that Doc Rivers is going to be rolling out there. They talked about it last night. Their strength of schedule is intense for the rest of the way. When it talked about the Eastern Conference, it's going to be a real tough road ahead for the Sixers for the rest of the way. So Doc's going to shuffle these lineups and have these 3 different rotations. But Maxey coming off the bench last night, I mean, I hate referring to Tyrese Maxey because I think he's an all-star caliber player. I hate referring to him as a spark off the bench. That's not, I think that's belittling of a guy of Tyrese Maxey's talent level. I don't think he should be coming off the bench. I always believe you take your best 5, you throw them out there, and you dominate. You say, you deal with it. That's what I like. But Doc Rivers likes something different. And Tyrese Maxey played 30 minutes off the bench for you last night. Got 27 points in that game. 6 of 9. Nice. From beyond the arc. Sixers went off from beyond the arc last night. 47%. They shot 18 of 38. And James Harden had 5 threes. Not a bad day at the beyond the arc office for the 76ers. All in all, when push came to shove, when they needed the lockdown, they did that. Seth Curry, good God, man. Forget about Ben Simmons. You want to talk about winning the trade? The Sixers still won the trade. But when you talk about winning the trade, the guy that he missed the most is Seth Curry and his outside shooting. No question about that. He was on fire last night. And every time they needed a big shot, he was there stepping up in a big way for the Brooklyn Nets. And last night he came up with 32 points, 7 3-pointers, did Doc Rivers' son-in-law to stick it to his father-in-law. But they came out. They did have a lot of energy last night. Maybe too excited. Maybe a little over-pursuit, a little overplay, maybe, the Sixers. But they chalked up the win. They at least earned the split with the Nets during the season series, which is great. When they face them later in the year, they'll see what they have on tap when it comes to the healthy lineup of the Brooklyn Nets. And we'll see where Kevin Durant is at that point. But bottom line is, away from the Ben Simmons stuff, away from the crowd being into it as much as they were, away from Joel Embiid's good old-fashioned, was it NWO, the suck it? Was that what happened there? Aside from that, I wanted to see them win a little bit more handily than they did last night. Bottom line is they win. I'm not going to be too mad about it at this point in the season. It is January, and I told you guys that the NBA season doesn't even really start till like after the holidays, and so I guess we're underway. But Joel Embiid last night made an awesome play to the cup, and then did what has become a classic move for Joel Embiid. The you know what I'm saying, the slapping of the crotchal region. Okay, I'll say it like that for my PG audience. So then that led to Kevin Durant taking to social media to comment on Joel Embiid's celebration. And Kevin Durant said this: trash celebration at Joel Embiid. All right. 8.6 million views that tweet got. And then after the game, Embiid tweeted with a GIF of himself just putting his hand out to his ear, like, let me hear you, bring it on, whatever. But I took that GIF out so it was easier to read. Joel Embiid then quoted Kevin Durant saying trash celebration. He quoted that tweet simply by saying hashtag suck it. So there you go. All is right in the world. Never change, please. Joel Embiid, it's a beautiful thing. It's beautiful. He doesn't really do the Troel Embiid that much anymore. So when he does do it, you got to revel in it for a little bit. It was nice. Also, other thing about last night. I know it's going to be, I know you're playing a division rival. I know you're playing a team that a lot of people see are right there with you in terms of conference, in terms of fighting for the number 1 seed, number 2 seed, whatever it might be. And that's fine. Ben Simmons coming to town obviously gives a lot more of that edge to it. Ben Simmons coming to town gives a big spark. We want to talk about sparks. That's a big spark to this game. It's a extra added motivation. Joel Embiid said after the game he doesn't care who's in front of him, whether it's Ben Simmons or not. Whoever's trying to stop him from posting up, whoever's trying to stop him, he just wants to kill and take it to every single night. I have no doubt there's a little something extra on it. You know why? Because Joel Embiid is a damn showman. And when the bright lights are on, Joel Embiid wants to play his best basketball. And you know what made those lights a lot brighter last night? Ben Simmons being back at the Wells Fargo Center and Joel Embiid having the opportunity to go up against a guy that really made this franchise look at themselves and go, should we just reset things here? Should we reset things here? I will never, as long as I live, forget the pass to Thibault. I'll never forget it as long as I live. I'll never forget being in that stadium and just say what what happened right there? Because there's no way he shouldn't have dunked that basketball. And then as the game went on and you had an opportunity to win that game, and that was really your biggest opportunity to take momentum, it went away. I'll never forget that. And if we'll never forget that as fans, you think Joel Embiid's going to forget about it? I don't think so. So Ben Simmons coming back definitely, I think, motivated Joel Embiid to get back on the court as soon as possible. And I think it absolutely gave him a little bit more of an edge to do a couple of more post-ups in the early goings of that game than we expected. And to see him try to back down Ben Simmons and those two go at it, and like I said, maybe a stare down here or there throughout the game. George Niang, I love you, getting in Ben Simmons' grill. It was a thing of beauty. But when the bright lights are on, Joel Embiid wants to play hard. Joel Embiid wants to put on the show. He is a showman, and when Ben Simmons comes in, the lights are turned up, and that's where you want to see that extra added motivation for Joel Embiid, and he certainly had it last night. Although maybe physically he wasn't up to the task, still a double-double in the win with 26 points. Not too shabby for the big man. Also, I don't want to leave this out for the young kids out there that do want to be basketball players. Be good from the foul line. Sixers shot 97% from the free throw line last night. Joel Embiid himself was 13 for 13. And if I could pull out these notes, I mentioned there's some interesting numbers here when it comes to the 76ers and what they were able to do in last night's game. This is crazy. All right. Highest field goal percentage in a loss. So I mentioned 137 to 133 was the final score of that game. Last night, the Brooklyn Nets shot an incredible 64.5%. That is the third highest shooting percentage by a team in NBA history that took a loss. The Sixers withstood that last night. Somehow, magically, the Sixers withstood that last night, and they shot over 50% from the floor, so not too shabby for the Sixers either. But let me say this. When George Niang was on the show when George Niang was on the show last year, and Ben Simmons was coming back, and Ben Simmons wasn't going to play, and we all knew he wasn't going to play, but we knew he was going to be on the bench, George Niang told this show that, he'll talk trash to anybody, including guys on the bench who are not playing. So I asked him, I said, hey, Ben, you were around him a little bit that time that he was there at training camp and all that stuff. What do you think about, the Ben Simmons situation and him coming back? And he's like, I really don't care who you are, if you're playing or not. I know the history here. I'm going to talk trash. So I got something for him while he's sitting on that bench come game time. And I thought, this guy is writing material to talk trash to a guy who's not even playing. So when George Niang got in the face of Ben Simmons last night and caused the tea, oh my goodness gracious. I was like, George Niang, you beautiful minivan, you beautiful fresh paint job, new engine minivan. Point A to point B, baby. Oh, it was exactly what George Niang planned. And Ben Simmons played into it. Chef's kiss. Just fantastic. For the people on the podcast, first, I apologize for my voice today. Second, I just did a chef's kiss. So anyway, Sixers get the win. 31-16 on the season. All is right in the world of the 76ers. So let's just stop for a second and revel in the moment. Feels good. Sixers, by the way, 3 games out of first place. They're a half game up on the Bucks. Sixers in sole possession of the 2nd seed right now in the Eastern Conference. And you're way too early look at the Eastern Conference standings. Let me drink for my thanks for not hitting it and quitting it. Happy Father's Day mug. Here we go. Do you guys have that guy in the office that slurps their coffee? Do you guys have that? I'm going to try not to do that when I go for the tea here. Okay, I'm gonna try not to do that. That was Conklin, by the way. Conklin, when I would produce his bits, he was always. I would do when I would open for Conklin and Big Daddy occasionally. I would do an impression of Joe Conklin, and it was that guy. It was just the slurping of the coffee. It was hilarious. Let me tell you. That was a little slurp, Miss Guzzi. So here's my thing. I'll get to the bitching and moaning in a second. But first, Jalen Hurts addressed the media yesterday. Brandon Graham addressed the media. Dallas Goedert, Nick Sirianni. A whole bunch of Eagles sat at the podium yesterday, sat at the table and answered questions from reporters. Jalen Hurts, MVP finalist. Jalen Hurts lost one game of all the games he started this season. Pretty damn good. He is kind of reveling in this moment. This was the prove-it year for Jalen Hurts. Show me something, right? Show me you can be the franchise quarterback. Okay. How about being an MVP finalist and getting you one win away from the Super Bowl so far? Not too shabby. Here is Jalen Hurts yesterday addressing the media, talking about all the accolades that he's received, and he's just trying to stay present right now. And what's it all mean?
I think it depends on the person. I think we're trying to stay focused on what's important, and that's just, truly enjoying the moment, enjoying and attacking the process in front of us this week and taking it day by day. So, kind of want to never get too high, never get too low with it.
There you go. There's Jalen Hurts. The staying in the moment thing is an absolute must right now because you don't want to get caught up in the moment. You want to appreciate the moment. You don't want to be distracted by it. And I have said it all season long. You can look at this, and I'm not just talking about Jalen Hurts, but I'm talking about the whole team here. It's the whole team. It's not just 70 sacks. Okay, it's not just 14 wins. It's not an MVP finalist, right? It's not all that. You know what it is? For me, it's the reason all that other stuff exists, all the stats exist, is because of something that is not measured. And I'm not going to give you the eye test. I'm not going to give you the gut check. I'm going to give you the word focus. The thing that has impressed me throughout this season is this team's focus. When they were undefeated, right before they lost to the Commanders, the thing that amazed me, which was every single week, we could talk about finding motivation. We could talk about isolating each game to be its own season, and you want to go 1-0 every single week, whatever it might be. The way this team compartmentalized every game, almost every play, I think is a testament to the coaching and the mindset instilled in this locker room with veteran presence, like Brandon Graham that you'll hear from in a second, Jason Kelce, without question. And I think, and I know you guys don't like him, but we'll talk about Jonathan Gannon, Shane Steichen, and Nick Sirianni. What they have instilled in this team is, I think, a great ability to focus. And every single game is going to be its own season. That, to me, is what made this team so special throughout the year. The talent certainly helped. Talent, number one reason why you won games. And when you're winning games and you're buying into it, you're going to keep that going for as long as you can. This team's focus throughout the season led to fewer turnovers. It led to guys winning their one-on-one battles in the line of scrimmage, especially on the defensive side of things, to be able to get after the quarterback 70 times. Kansas City was second in sacks this year with 55. Eagles had 70. And the amazing season Jalen Hurts had overall. And the fact he had two 1,000-yard wide receivers. You would have had, I think, a 1,000-yard tight end in Dallas Goedert if he didn't get hurt. A 1,000-yard rusher in Miles Sanders. I mean, holy pots and pans, people. What, 17 potential Pro Bowlers, 8 Pro Bowlers straight up? That's pretty damn good. That's a lot of focus. That's by far the thing that's impressed me most about this Eagles team is that that's why I'm so confident that they're going to beat this 49ers team and go to the Super Bowl. Just because they know what they have to do. They know what they need to do in this game. I think the simplest way, and when I was talking to Seth Joyner last night, the way he described it was very simple. It's an easy thing. Brock Purdy has to beat you. Brock Purdy has to beat you. You can't rely on Christian McCaffrey. You can't let Christian McCaffrey run amok with screens. You can't let Brandon Ayuk streak down the field. You can't allow him to have those 10-yard slants that he takes 60 yards for a touchdown. No. You can't let that happen. Can't let George Kittle have a circus catch like he did in the divisional round against the Cowboys. Can't let any of that happen. But the guy that's got to beat you, the guy that you got to make uncomfortable is Brock Purdy. And if he's going to be facing this pass rush, if he's going to be throwing into this secondary, you got to make sure that he's uncomfortable. But, man, when it comes to this Eagles team, every single game, what has impressed me the most is we did this, we didn't do it. It's over. The second it's over, we did this, we didn't do it. And the best example of that is A.J. Brown, 3-touchdown performance. Well, should have had 4. It's great. And hearing Jalen Hurts talk about it, enjoy the moment, but not getting caught up in the moment, I think is exactly what he's going to do because of this team's laser focus and his own personal laser focus on what the task is at hand, which is beating the 49ers. Did all that? Cool. Now do this. Still more out there. Still more meat left on the bone. Brandon Graham, of course, has been here before. NFC Championship game. Here he is talking about taking on this San Francisco 49ers team. 1 win away from returning to the Super Bowl.
So, man, I'm just like, dang, boy, we're playing for the championship, NFC Championship game. And, you know, I haven't only played but one time in it, and, you know what we did that year. And so it's cool to, you know, be in this moment again. And, you know, I know that our team going to put our best foot forward this week to make sure we go out there and give us a chance to go get this win.
I just love hearing from Brandon, and his attitude is 1,000% right. Like, imagine having that taste of getting to an NFC Championship game. Imagine having that taste of getting to a Super Bowl, winning that Super Bowl. Man, you just want that back. And I think Brandon Graham is the guy in this locker room, him on the defensive side of the ball at least, that'll be the first person to speak up if he notices anyone not as focused as they're supposed to be going into this game. Both Jalen Hurts, Brandon Graham, also Dallas Goedert, I believe, all 3 of those guys talked about, when you talk about approach to this week, approach to the NFC Championship game, they all said the same thing. You got to treat it like it's another game. You can't break habit. You can't break routine. The minute you start doing that is the minute you start getting inside your own head, and you can't get there. You have to stay on the same lines that you have been on all season long. That's how you got here. It's the old adage of how do you ride the horse that brung you, right? That's what they're doing right now. Same thing they did throughout the season, they're doing right now before this NFC Championship game against the San Francisco 49ers. So there, I am excited. I'm very happy to see what the Philadelphia Eagles do. I think the Eagles win this game, as I've said throughout the week. But for the love of God, ladies and gentlemen, how is it that Nick Sirianni does not get better consideration for Coach of the Year? How is that possible? Like, if you're asking me who the Coach of the Year is, then I'm not saying that Nick Sirianni should be the Coach of the Year. I'm saying that Nick Sirianni should have a lot more accolades than 5th. That's bull. He should certainly be beating out Brian Daboll. Like, the fact that you beat Brian Daboll thrice and you're not a higher standing than him is bull. The fact that you were the first team to clinch a playoff spot and you don't get better head coach of the year consideration is bull. The fact that you were, the best record in your conference, best record in the conference is bull. You get better, consideration here for the finalists. I think where it really cost him was when he didn't have Jalen Hurts and he only won 1 game with Gardner Minshew. In the second game, they lost to the Saints. That was bad. That was really bad. I think that game actually really cost him better consideration. I don't think anybody in the league holds a candle to Doug Peterson, though. Even Brian Daboll, who everyone's all, oh, Brian Daboll, love you so much. No, when it comes to Coach of the Year, I think Doug Peterson. Look, the NFL, first of all, I think Doug deserves it. Secondly, I think the NFL wants Doug to win it because the NFL wants to be part of the continuous you can't coach here just because you coached in college club. So whether it's Chip Kelly or it's Urban Meyer, so whatever franchise got lit on fire by a college coach, you want to see an NFL guy come in and kind of right the ship. And that's what's happened here in Jacksonville with Doug Peterson. He went in there. He turned everything around. You saw a number 1 overall pick. You saw a guy like Trevor Lawrence actually look like the guy that was scouted by so many different teams and said he was going to be a number 1 overall pick. And you got that from Doug Peterson, a complete turnaround in Jacksonville. I don't think anybody tops that. But the fact that you're the best team in the NFL all season long, the fact that, again, you were the first team to clinch a playoff spot, you were the last standing undefeated team, and you beat another guy who's getting better consideration than Brian Daboll 3 times, twice in the regular season, obviously, which should be enough. Yeah, I think the NFL hates us. And you know what? I do care because I want to see these guys get the accolades. Now, I know comeback player of the year is not a huge deal. All right. It's not MVP. It's not coach of the year. It's not any of that jazz, right? But when a player is up for an award, especially one of our guys, especially somebody like Brandon Graham, who's so damn beloved in this city, and he doesn't get the accolades he deserves at 34 years old, coming back from that Achilles injury to have a career year, and he doesn't get better accolades than Saquon Barkley or Christian McCaffrey? Are you kidding me? I know he doesn't play the sexy position. I know he's a rotational player, but rotational player or not, coming back to have that kind of career year, hell yeah. Joel Embiid in the MVP award. We could talk about that, and we have talked about that till we're red in the face, right? And we've been pissed off about how the league has snubbed him, right? And that may be true. But the bigger snubbing here, like the no question about it, easy thing here is to look at Brandon Graham and go, nobody came back better than Brandon. Nobody came back better than BG. And for him not get better, not even considered. Like, Nick Sirianni's on a list at least. Brandon Graham, you want to talk about a snub? Holy pots and pans, people. Snub and a half. And the stats are one thing. But what he has meant to this locker room is far beyond that. The fact that he missed virtually all of last year, came back this year, and put up the numbers that he did, one of 4 players on this defensive line to have 10-plus sacks, to have his first double-digit sack season, mention the career year, to do that after that injury at this age and do it for the vast majority of the best team in the NFL, the number 1 seed. He got done dirty, man. BG got done dirty. I'm going to hope for a second. Oh, and Geno Smith also getting more consideration than him. Hey, Geno Smith had a great year. But what did he come back from? Not being a very good quarterback? I mean, let's call it what it is. I'm not a hater of Geno Smith. I've actually I highlighted throughout the year the fact that his passer rating was like top 5 for the almost all year long. And I was impressed with that. Good for him. He came back from what? Being benched a bunch by other teams? Cool. No one likes this. We don't care. I'll tell you what. I won't care when the Eagles make the Super Bowl. I won't care when the Eagles win the Super Bowl. I won't care when I'm with you guys and I'm partying on Broad Street. I won't care. I won't care. But as of right now, I care. I care. And it's bull. It's absolute bull from the league. The Nick Sirianni didn't get more consideration, and Brandon Graham didn't get any consideration for comeback player of the year. I never thought I'd be pissed off about like comeback player of the year, right? It feels weird even talking about it. But the fact that it's BG and all season long we've known he deserves it, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at mentally, folks. That's not a very good place. All right, I need a little sip of this. One of the greatest things on television ever was Larry David, Curb Your Enthusiasm, The Social Assassin. If you haven't seen that episode, oh, man, find it. It's fantastic. My mom always goes, why don't you take a sip of coffee? I need you to tell her to stop. You don't care what people think of you. I'm not your man. Let's get into our man Steven Singer of Steven Singer Jewelers, the other corner of 8th and Walnut, right there on Jewelers Row. Steven Singer Jewelers, one place, one price, the perfect price each and every day. Keep Steven in mind when it's Valentine's Day. It's just around the corner, a couple of weeks away. Are you ready? Are you prepared? Go to the other corner of 8th and Walnut and enjoy the perfect price. Now, what's the perfect price? Well, while other jewelers are marking things way up, Steven likes to mark things down just a little bit, so you know you're getting that perfect price each and every day. You're not getting taken advantage of. You don't have to go in there feeling like you got to haggle and negotiate and have that pressure. No, you just sit back, relax, and enjoy all Steven Singer and his wonderful team of real jewelry experts have to offer. Because they'll make you feel like a real family member when you sit down in one of those chairs and you peruse all the beautiful, dazzling diamond inventory that they have at Steven Singer Jewelers, all set at the perfect price. They have the perfect price, so you don't have to worry about a sale or negotiating or anything like that. You don't have to worry about whether or not you missed the big sale or the coupon or the promo code or anything like that. No, the perfect price every single day at Steven Singer Jewelers. One place, one price, perfect price online at IHateStevenSinger.com. That's IHateStevenSinger.com. Always fast and free shipping. How about the great people? Ladies and gentlemen, Manscaped. Ladies, it's Valentine's Day. Maybe your man's getting things, maybe your man's keeping things a little too wild. Needs to be tamed a little bit. Enter Manscaped. 20% off. Promo code Farzy at manscaped.com. That's manscaped.com. Promo code Farzy. Get 20% off and free shipping. You'll enjoy their Platinum Package 4.0, which is their best hygiene bundle yet. It includes their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, their Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, and they come with skin-safe technology that helps reduce the risk of nicks so you can manscape with confidence and comfort. Go to manscaped.com. Use promo code Farzy for 20% off and free shipping. How about the amazing people at PHL Sports Nation, Philadelphia Sports Nation, enhancing your Philadelphia sports fan experience across all social media and blogs? That's PHLSportsNation.com. How about the great people at Freestone Farm CBD, FreestoneFarmCBD.com? Ladies and gentlemen, you like CBD? You use CBD? You want to try CBD? How about Freestone Farm CBD? They grow all their premium hemp flower in the Garden State, so there's no organic inputs or IPMs. Oh, there's nothing synthetic from farm to jar. It's fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, if you like CBD, Freestone Farm CBD is the way to go. Check out Freestone Farm CBD at FreestoneFarmCBD.com, where you can get all the information to get 20% off. You'll enjoy the tropical tasting Bayax that clocks in at a chart-topping 24.1%, and Super CBD, which is half Hindu, Kush, and 21%. Genetics of these guys are off the charts. Check out Freestone Farm CBD, FreestoneFarmCBD.com. Let's get into the chat check, see how all you guys are doing. I got one here from John, actually. Hit me up on Twitter. Coach of the year, who could you remove from this list, though? I don't think anyone. Sure. But I believe in having a higher standing. Like, he should get more consideration than Brian Dable. Oh, Brian Dable came and turned things around. Yeah, Saquon was also healthy. And how do they get a comeback player of the year and a coach of the year when the Eagles can't get a coach of the year and an MVP? Because Jalen Hurts isn't going to win the MVP. It sucks, but it's not going to win. So for me, that's really what it comes down to. And the fact that, again, first team to make the playoffs. First, they lock up the number 1 seed. They won 14 games. Best record in the NFL. Best record, the far and away untied, alone in the NFC. Chiefs had the same record, but 14-3 is the best record in the NFL. And yeah, look who had it. The Philadelphia Eagles and Nick Sirianni. All right, now let's get into the actual chat check. What's going on, everybody? Let's see. Mihai, what's going on, Mihai? What's going on? Kevin, what's going on? Nice to see you. Mally, April. Mally, it's your birthday. Today is the born day. Mally, very nice. Mark, LOL, Ben Simmons, we still beat him, and Jalen Hurts can't win MVP because it's a course for the Super Bowl. Okay. He can get the Super Bowl MVP. This is true. And we've seen the script before with the Eagles snubbed. Yes, we have. Random Anton, my boy brought up the NWO suck it. If you went, if you were in school at that time, even college probably, hell, even grad school, hell, even your 7th year of medical school, you were doing the NWO. Yeah, that was happening. Teachers say something you don't like, turn their back. Anyway. Fuji, what's up, Fuji? What's going on here? Morning, everyone. Happy Championship Thursday. Big win for the Sixers. Play the song. There you go. The whole flipping team. Kelsey voice. Damn right, Fuji. Nick said basically individual awards are nice, but we got bigger things to do. Damn right they do. Random. Eagles are 0-0 this week. Looking to improve to 1-0. It's a disgrace that Nick Sirianni gets no love. Fuji, I agree. Sean Gillespie, what's going on? Let all this disrespect motivate the Eagles to an NFC conference and Super Bowl win. Damn right. I want this defense to pummel Brock Purdy, but they're definitely going to try to get the ball out quick and run the ball, so we should stop the run first and Kittle second. I concur. And thank you for reminding me, Sean. I was going to save this for the morning rush, but I want to make sure I get you guys that full interview with our man Kevin Finneran of the Philadelphia Wings, NLL Hall of Famer, 5-time champion. Great catching up with him. He's got some great stories he'll tell us. Where did I put that in my notes? Allora, where did I put that? Here it is. Okay. Here's some numbers that I got courtesy of ESPN. Brock Purdy versus elite pass rushers. Okay. So the Eagles, pretty good pass rush. 70 sacks in the season. Pretty damn good. Top 4 in PRWR. Okay. Eagles at 52%. Cowboys at 52%. This is against Brock Purdy. Dolphins at 50%. Cardinals at 47%. Brock Purdy in those games what's incredible is they've won all those games. The Eagles still yet to be determined, but they beat the Cowboys, they beat the Dolphins, they beat the Cardinals. Purdy's QBR, not passer rating, QBR, the ESPN stat QBR, 51.5% against the Cardinals, 56.5% against the Dolphins, 53.1% against the Cowboys. Yards per dropback, 6, 4, and 6. So he had his worst games. He was sacked 4 times against the Cardinals, 3 times against the Dolphins, twice against the Cowboys. What I'm saying is, in the games he has faced great pass rushes, he has had his worst games. But the 49ers won. That's what you get when you have the best defense in the NFL. The Eagles, I think, are a versatile enough offense where they can get around this defense. They can put up points on this defense. And I am still looking at 24-20 as the final score of this game for the Eagles to beat the San Francisco 49ers. I think the X factor is Jalen Hurts, the better quarterback in this league without question. When teams are this close with great defenses, with versatile offenses, I think the X factor is, okay, well, who's got the better quarterback? The Eagles. The Eagles are going to win this game. Plus, if Nick Bosa is going to be looking to get around Lane Johnson or Jordan Mailata, I think there's going to be help on either side in that situation. Plus, you're also going to have to get a guy like Jalen Hurts down. Good luck to you. Who could buy time in the pocket, as we all know. So I think that goes double. First off, the fact that the Eagles have a great offensive line, even with Lane Johnson with the injury that he has, and the fact that they have a guy that can escape with Jalen Hurts, that kind of puts a damper on things when it comes to the pass rush of the San Francisco 49ers. So Brock Purdy has had his worst games against great pass rushes. We'll hope that trend continues, except for that thing where the San Francisco 49ers win. So, yeah, let's hope that one doesn't come through. Thank you for reminding me of that, brother. Appreciate you. Random Anton reminded me of that. Thank you. Category 5, fired up Farzy. You damn right. I got one gear, baby. With half a voice or not. Here we go. Which one is harder? Sixers figuring out the 2-3? RJ, great point. Or a chemistry exam. I would say, as far as the 2-3 goes, they just said, yeah, screw this. We're going to stay on the outside. That's what we're going to do. You're going to go 2-3 zone. We're going to go out here and we're going to shoot threes. And they did. And they were great. They hit 18 of them. SB Ricky. What's up, SB Ricky? Morning Farzy. Got to work and build these dang BMWs. Random Anton. Did you say interview with Kevin Federline? Wow. This show is totally 90s. No, I'm not doing an interview with Kevin Federline. Kevin Fitterin of the Philadelphia Wings, NLL Hall of Famer, 5-time champ. Good times. Yes, please, Eagles don't allow that. Yeah, don't allow that. Those stats of Purdy seem questionable. Is that what it says? Yeah, I don't know. I just lost my monitor here, unfortunately. They seem odd. Okay, they seem odd is what they seem. Thanks for everybody in the chat. You guys are great as per usual. Instead of our morning rush today, we're going to end with an interview with our friend Kevin Fitterin of the Philadelphia Wings. You guys can buy tickets at wingslax.com for tomorrow night's game against the Buffalo Bandits. I'll be there. Having myself a good time on the PA. Hope you guys can make the game as well. Tomorrow, Devin Katie will join the show to give us her thoughts on the Eagles taking on the San Francisco 49ers. We'll have some fun with Devin ahead of that game, and I am just feeling real good about all things Philadelphia right now, from the Sixers win to the Eagles taking on San Francisco, and also the Flyers. Things have looked better as of late. Haven't lost back-to-back games in a while. Hopefully that is a trend that continues. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. This has been the Farzy Show, presented by Steven Singer of Steven Singer Jewelers. One place, one price, perfect price online at IHStevenSinger.com. Also, Jim Hyder produced program, did a wonderful job. This is a Buzz Sports Entertainment production. Enjoy me catching up with NLL Hall of Famer from your Philadelphia Wings, getting his number retired, Mr. Kevin Fitterin. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now on the Rothman Orthopedics guest line, it is my honor to introduce a man who's going to get his number retired, his jersey retired this Friday night for the Philadelphia Wings. It is an honor to have him on here. Mr. Kevin Fitterin joins us. Kevin, how you doing, brother?
Mark, I'm on cloud 9. I have been for 2 months since the Wings surprised me and let me know that they were going to retire my number 11. So I'm anxious. I have my family coming to town, tons of friends and loved ones. So and to be up, in the banner in the rafters with my fellow Wings teammates, Maricek, Berge, and Eliak, among the other luminaries up there, Julius Erving and Bill Barber. I'm fired up.
That is absolutely incredible, and I love this story. I caught this with Renee Washington. I heard you tell this story, and I want to give her full credit. But this is an incredible story about how you found out that the Wings would be retiring your number 11. How did you find out?
Well, Barry, one of the tremendous PR people with the Philadelphia Wings, said, "Kevin, can you come on in and do an interview about the upcoming season and me getting in the Hall of Fame a year and a half ago, 2 years ago?" And I said, "Absolutely." And I had no idea. And Brian Smith asked me one last question. He said, "Kevin, you've accomplished a lot with the Wings. Is there anything else that you would love to accomplish?" And I said, honestly, "Brian, there is one thing that I would love to accomplish, but I'm not going to be conceited and throw it out there." And he goes, "Well, we'd like to let you know that I think this will be your last accomplishment." And he drew back a banner, a curtain, and my number there. So it was sick. It was sick. And it was genuine.
Mm-hmm. No, that's absolutely incredible. I know. If my memory serves me correctly, were you up near the rafters at the time this conversation was happening?
Yes.
Oh my God!
Which should have given me a hint.
Thank God you went into lacrosse and not, detective work. I don't know. But Kevin, what do you think about all the times playing here in Philadelphia and representing lacrosse in the NLL and box lacrosse as well as you did? Do you have moments that you regularly think about? Like, I think we all have those moments that pop in from things we've done in the past. When you think about your time with the Wings, what are some of the top moments that really jump out to you?
1995. We're at the Spectrum. We win in overtime against Rochester. I had a goal in that game, so I was happy that I had a goal. You always want to be on the score sheet. We won in overtime, and then a week later, they started demolishing the place, and now it's Xfinity Live. So we closed the Spectrum down, and I'm very proud of that. From a team perspective, obviously, and a Philadelphia story, because I grew up and my favorite movie and my daddy took me when I was a youngster was Rocky. And to be able to be a part of the Spectrum where Rocky fought, that was special, not to get sentimental and everything like that. But that was an incredible moment. Just being a part of 4 championship teams, 6 championship appearances and 10 playoff appearances in my 10 years with the best 10 years of my life. So those are my memories, Mark.
Absolutely amazing. When you talk about playing at the Spectrum, you talk about playing in front of a Philadelphia crowd. It's come up again with the Eagles being ahead of the NFC Championship game here, playing on Sunday. Their defensive coordinator, Jonathan Gannon, talked about it, about the Philadelphia crowd, the Philadelphia atmosphere. When you have traveled around and when you've played in other cities, whether that be for a Philadelphia team on the road or playing for a different team, what is it like? Is it comparable at all? Does anybody hold a candle to the way a Philadelphia crowd is?
We're meat and potatoes. That's what I love about Philadelphia fans. And that's how I grew up, a meat and potatoes family. And I always wanted to, aspire to greatness. And on the field and off the field in Philadelphia, I not to blow my own horn, I consider myself the greatest Philadelphia Wing of all time. Not necessarily on the field, but combination of on and off the field. Nothing matters more to me than the Philadelphia Wings lacrosse team, and to be during this time now, coming up in a couple of days, and the Birds coming up in a couple of days, and the Sixers playing tonight, and the Phillies having a great run, and my Flyboys, and so it's been an amazing, magical 30 years for me since I've moved to Philadelphia.
That's incredible. And of course, people can get their tickets at wingslax.com. Make sure you check that out, wingslax.com. You can see Kevin get his number up there and the banner up there, the jersey up there, and the Raptors at the Wells Fargo Center. I do want to ask you this because I didn't grow up with lacrosse. It wasn't in the family. No, my family didn't play the sport. But about the time I got into college, I was able to go down there and see you and Bergie and the guys play. And the way I describe it to people is rock and roll hockey. If you're a quote unquote 4-for-4 person in Philadelphia, you got to be 5-for-5, 6-for-6 when you talk about the Union and talk about the Wings, because the sport is just that much fun. Can you talk a little bit about what it's like to be on that field while all the music's playing and the crowd's going nuts, and what that atmosphere on the field itself is like?
Well, the music, anytime Bush breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out came on, I was like, get out of the way. I'm coming on the floor first. So that was amazing. But once you start playing, you tune it out. And I'm sure the boys do, and we'll do this Friday. And I can't wait to see them against our arch rival, the Buffalo Bandits. So it was just a magical moment. And it uplifted me. The music uplifted me. And it gave me that extra step. I'm not going to lie. It gave me that extra step. And obviously the fans gave me that extra step. And I love my beloved Wings. Other than my family and my friends and our creator, they're the most important thing in my life, the Philadelphia Wings. And so I can't wait to see them. And cheer them on Friday and high five them as I come out. And I'm just going to do my best, Mark, not to cry.
What was it like being in that locker room with Bergie and your teammates back in the day? What was that locker room like?
Oh, gosh. We were winners. We were winners, man. We were winners. We had Dallas Elliott, the greatest goaltender of all time. We had Tommy Marechek, the greatest scorer of all time. We had Bergie, the toughest of all time. And then we had just role players. We had role players. And we had Tony Resch, our great coach. And I just wanted to fill my part, fill my role. Don't get me wrong. I wanted to be the man as well. And I did my part, certain games. But then again, I just filled my role at certain games. And 9 times out of 10, we were running around the stadium at the Wells Fargo Center or at the Spectrum cheering on our crowds because we had won.
That's awesome, man. Well, hey, look, all the accolades that you have deserved and you have gotten in your career, of course, are well-deserved by you. And I look forward to seeing you down there Friday night and taking on those damn Buffalo Bandits and having your way with them, as well as will the Wings, my friend. Thank you so much, and congratulations on having your jersey retired.
Thank you so much, Mark.
Absolutely. Kevin Fitteran joining us here on the Rothman Orthopedics guest line.